Today, at the Most Holy Mass, we read about the prodigal son, and it's primarily about the spiritual life. One of the important features of the story of the prodigal son is the revelation of one being dead in sin or cut off from the life of God because of their sin. It is about two sons, one who follows the law of God and did what was right, the other who squandered his father's inheritance. And how this is interpreted by some church fathers, it's one who lived an immoral life with their intellect and free will that is ultimately a gift from God given to the creature. And interestingly, the righteous son does not understand that his brother was dead in sin. Sometimes the world makes sin seem like it's something glamorous, fun, or even cool, but it's none of those things at its core. This is what you come to in the spiritual life and in the intellectual life. Also, this father of the house understood that his son was being senseless or hard-hearted, and he desired him to return to the beautiful life of keeping the commandments, and that life of grace, the real life of God flowing within the soul, living a good life. And this is why the story says that the son, in the midst of his sins, he came to his senses. He realized the filth he was living in, and he knew in his own heart, he knew he was not living the right way. He knew he should live. He knew he needed God, even in the midst of all the company that he had. And this is all of us in our conversion from sin to the life of grace. We realize by God's grace, we need to return to the Father's house and apologize for sinning against heaven and earth. For all of sin is an offense against God first and also our neighbor. And our Heavenly Father knows the deep wound that original sin left in the soul. For he knows our dire need for grace, mercy, and the strength that only comes from God. Further, this is something that the son who remained did not understand, or perhaps he forgot, that it was by God's grace and strength that he did not stray. And perhaps he remembered this after his father's correction and reading the sacred scriptures at the next Sabbath. Further, he may have experienced the life of God enkindled in his soul again after a drought in the spiritual life, realizing that he was not dead in sin like his brother was. And maybe this changed his heart a little more toward his brother, maybe to the point of praying for him and thanking God that he returned to the Father and returned to the house of God.